Greetings and welcome my friends. This is Teferi Wins 2, an Azorius deck featuring the powerful Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim. It's taken us a year and a half to bring you a sequel. The original is still great and still gets wins. This updated version uses new cards from recent sets, and as a bonus, it is rotation proof. We have a lot of the usual control elements from counter magic to card draw and removals. Teferi is still as strong as he was when he first arrived in Standard. We start off with 3 copies of Final Showdown. This is the board wipe we can play out at instant speed. Even indestructible men will fall to this masterpiece of a board wipe. For a bit more mana we can make all men lose all abilities, and we can make one of our men immune to the wipe. Being able to play this out at instant speed means we have a lot less to fear. 3 Steps Behind is a great card. With it we can use it as a counter, or we can use it to get a pair of cards. We can also create a token copy of any creature or artifact we have. It's a versatile card that we can use when the moment is right. Treasure Map is a fantastic artifact at digging through our deck to help find something we need. It'll give us a total of 3 scries for 1, then turns into a land that draws a card when we sacrifice a treasure. And of course it creates 3 treasures when it transforms. Get Lost is excellent spot removal that can hit not just men, but planeswalkers and enchantments as well. This versatility helps us snipe opposing cards that are proving problematic. Especially with planeswalkers, who can be a real headache. This will take them out. Not on My Watch has been an excellent removal. It hits any attacker regardless if it is tapped or if it has vigilance. And at 2 mana I find it difficult to find something else that works as good. Impulse is a fantastic search card. We get to look at the top 4 and take the best card. At 2 mana it is excellent at helping us find lands early or can dig up the right card late in the game. Negate is a fantastic 2 mana counter. It'll hit opposing planeswalkers or other powerful cards like Breach the Multiverse. It's great against spot removals if they try to take out Teferi. Silver Scrutiny is one of my favorite card draw spells. It'll get us plenty of cards as a sorcery and up to 3 cards as an instant. This flexibility is really what makes it so good. We're playing Cease and Desist as a board wipe for enchantments and artifacts. If the opponent is leaning heavily on one or the other, or both, we can wipe their board. It is rare that we would want to cast the Cease portion, but we do have ways of getting treasure to be able to cast it. Union of the Third Path is one of only a few cards that have made it into this deck that were in the original. It's a touch of life game that also replaces itself. We essentially don't lose a card to gain a bit of life. Sunfall is one of the best board wipes. We clear out all enemy men and get an incubator token that we can then use to attack or block. There are no men that can survive this. It will definitely clean up the board. Our key card is Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim. He gains a loyalty for every card we draw, so that helps build him up, especially with our card draw. He can make token men that grow in size with every card we draw. And his ultimate is a board wipe in itself. It'll clear out the opponent's board, sending all but 1 non-land permanent back into the opponent's deck. They'll get one of those permanents back to their hand, but everything else will be out of reach. Firing off his ultimate is usually a backbreaker and will end most games. For lands we have 3 Tranquil Cove, the Azorius duel that enters tapped and gains us 1 life. 3 Restless Anchorage, the Azorius man land. 4 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius surveil land. 4 Idyllic Beachfront, the Azorius tap duel. 5 Islands. And 5 Plains. Playing the deck does require some strategic planning. Deciding on which card to use and at what time plays a critical role in the outcome of a game. The early game often involves with dealing with enemy men. Use removals until a board wipe can be fired off. Play Teferi when you're in a position to protect him, and be strategic when deciding to use him to build an army or go for his ultimate. Teferi by himself can win games, but he does need some support. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Baby Back Face Gamer. Anyone else suddenly crave baby back ribs? We get a 3-lander to start. This looks alright. We are playing a lot of tap lands, but to make up for it we are playing a good number of 2 and 3 mana cards. Keep. This is the original form of the deck because we were trying out Rest in Peace. We ended up taking it out for Get Lost. We'll lead with our Surveil land, and that shows us a Sunfall. We'll keep it. They play out a Vile Smasher. Outlaws will be coming, no doubt. We'll play out our other Surveil land. We have a land on top which we want. That's our 5th land. Sunfall mana is pretty much in hand. Vile Smasher is getting annoying, but we're without any removals at the moment. We'll fire off our Impulse unless we have to counter something with Negate. Impulse might find us something we can use. Let's see. I don't like any of these. The Cease and Desist might eventually be useful. Vlad the Impaler arrives for the opponent. And gets instantly pumped, thanks to the Vile Smasher. An untapped land means we fire off our Sunfall. That will be their men dealt with, at least for now. We'll play out Teferi. His card draw should help out our rather weak hand.
Heard you needed a hero. Well, here I am. There is much the past can teach us. Another mystery solved.
They drop a Sheldred, we can't counter it and we don't have removal, but we do have an instant speed board wipe. It's a bit much to use on just Sheldred, but leaving her on board will add up to too much damage. That's our first removal, we'll keep it on top then draw it with Teferi. Let's activate our land and incubator and send them in. We have to push damage and get in with hits. We'll use the map token on our land after the attack.
There is much the past can teach us.
They play out another Shelly. We do have a knot on my watch, but that means they'd have to attack with Sheldred, and it looked like something they didn't want to do last time. Our land will easily fly over Shelly. Let's deal some damage even if it is only temporary.
I've got eyes everywhere.
They get a Rakdos, we'll have removal for both their men on the condition that they swing in at us. Drawing extra cards might be too painful. We can start off by using the map token on the Teferi token and see what we have on top. That's 7 life on top. We can afford to draw it.
I am here to learn.
And now our Teferi token is big enough that it will trade with one of their men. Let's send it. Special delivery. They take the hit, no trades are being made. The moment of truth. Are they sending their men or will they be spectators? Looks like they love their bleacher seats. I somehow missed the channel land. It shouldn't have been in the deck. Oopsie poopsie. But it could work out to our advantage. Let's send in our tokens. They make the mistake of blocking with Shelly. That could cost them dearly. Let's snipe her. Rakdos is their only real threat now. We have enough for Teferi's ultimate, which will clear out their men.
Another mystery solved.
Of all the things that don't make sense, this makes the least sense. What? Why? But at least we know they don't have another Sheldred. Was that it? They wanted to deal 2 damage to us? They do gain another couple of life, so they are a bit out of range of our attack if we were to eliminate Rakdos. I find this line of plays rather questionable. Also note they haven't gotten anything useful from us. An impulse was their best hit so far. They did get 1 scrutiny but decided not to use it.
Much to consider.
Let's line up a nice big hit. They are tapped. We get them down to 2 life. They'll need to play out another pair of blockers on their turn. They finally find the courage to send in their big boy. But we've been ready for this for like 50 turns. Their plaza does not make a difference. We have double removals lined up. You don't have to be psychic to have seen this coming. They do activate their plaza, but we'll respond with our second removal. Their guy is toast, no jam. Only plain bread. And that's going to be GG's. Not that it matters, but we'll counter their removal too. This is Vainglory. No wait, it's Vainglory B. Like Killer Bee? Bumblebee? I mean, it is a 3-lander. We do have a removal and a pair of counters. Keep your pants on. Hasty mono red? We're in for some problems, I think. The original Teferi Wins could keep up with mono red if we drew into the right cards, and we have a chance here too, but this hand is rather clunky. We'll play out of Plains, and that will give us the chance to use our removal on one of their men. We'll likely want to play out the man land next time up, since we can use it to block up. They fire off the adventure side of the duelist. This is an easy counter for us. We take out one of their men with a negate, lol. And we prevent 3 damage as well. Get gone, girl. Getting a second cease and desist is rather unfortunate. We could have used an impulse or a union maybe. Something to really get us in the game. They send in their men. Let's see if they have any pump spells. That looks like a no. We'll snipe the flame breather. It has the potential to do the most damage of the men they have. We have a decent setup now. We can counter, or we can block, or we can draw a pair of cards. Let's see what they do. They just turn their men sideways. It looks like the more counters they have, the more damage they can do. So we'll activate Outland and block the guy that has 2 counters on it. Even if they were to snipe our land, we would have been okay with that. We're still in the game, and that's what matters. I'm not sure Mogda belongs in their deck. Sure, they have plenty of ways to commit crimes, but it feels kind of slow compared to everything else they're doing. Same thing again. We're set to counter a play, or we can block with our land, or we can draw 3 cards. Having options is what can keep us in a game. Once more, let's see what their next play is. They hit us for 1, and it looks like that'll be it. We'll fire off our scrutiny and get 3 fresh cards. They might be out of ammo, but we're just getting started. The treasure map is absolutely awesome for us. We can keep mana up to activate our land, and we'll be able to scry with the map as well. I always like to put a stop on our upkeep whenever we have a map in play. We can scry and improve our draws. They have nothing, so we'll scry with the map. That shows us a union on top. We'll keep it since that pretty much counters a great deal of the damage they've done this game. We know the union is on top, but we'll activate the map again. That'll get us closer to flipping it, which will mean more card draw once it's a land. They send in their 1/1, they might have a burn spell lined up, but we already have a second man land in play. Let them burn their cards on lands, lol. Sure enough, they burn out our land. That's perfectly fine. They might have just realized we have a second one already, lol. Oopsie poopsie. Let's scry. A life land is not something we really need. We have a union for life gain. More man lands would be great. We'll continue being reactive. There's so much we can do, from gaining life to blocking and countering or drawing cards. They're hitting us for 2. They likely want to get to that critical 3 treasures to make a dragon. As we thought, they have nothing else. Let's prop up our life total and get us back into double digits. Another union, lol. It's like they have done nothing this game. We can easily be back to 20 life. With treasures we can easily unload a Cease for Life and another card, but let's hold what we got. Each treasure we have is another card we can draw with our land. And there's not much we really want to take out from their grave. No plays for them, so let's draw. Another man land. They'll love to see that. And now let's negate all their plays up to this point. We're at 21. What have you even done this game, bro? We drew into Sunfall. It's an expensive measure for just one guy, but if Magda is gone, so will their hopes and dreams. Get gone, girl. We're going to wrap up the video a bit earlier than usual. The games with this deck tend to be on the longer side, and we'd like to keep videos to 30 minutes or less. And our next game could be a video by itself. Hopes were dashed, dreams were crushed. GG's. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.